having Friday at the back of your mind, it really gets people excited. Do you understand that? Okay, tomorrow is Friday, so it's close to the weekend. One more day to the weekend, isn't it? All right. Okay. All right. So guys, we're gonna be using the chat to have a conversation. Okay. So let's just stick to the chat. Okay. So just tell me in one word, one simple word. Okay. How has your week been? Okay. Some people stressful, some people fantastic, some people amazing, some people regardless. Use one word to classify your week, how your week has been so far. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. Let me see what I have in it. Stressful. You be James. All right. Stressful, interesting. Everybody as adults, okay, it's usually like that, okay. Adam has an awesome week so far. Amazing. I think that's good. Mine has been very busy, very hectic anyways, but it's been amazing also. It's been a bit of it's been very amazing, I would say. All right. So just looking at where you guys are joining from, in order for us to tailor the session to suit you better, okay, I would like to know where you guys are joining from. So, are you currently in Nigeria? Are you currently in the UK? Are you currently in Gambia? Are you currently in South Africa? I would like to know in the chat. So, put it in the chat. Where are you joining the call? Where are you joining us from today? Okay. So where are you joining from? Okay. So I have let me see. You can just use the chat, put it in the chat, so I'll know exactly where you guys are joining it from. And the reason why we are trying to do this is the reason why we're asking this question is very simple, and I'll explain to really the reason why we want to know where you guys are joining from. All right. So there are tons of opportunity across the world. Okay. All right. And the tech skill, having a tech skill at this point in time gives you this opportunity to work literally across the world, global. That's why they call it the global tech skills. Okay. So having these skills allows you to work globally. So regardless of anywhere you are, even if you're in Nigeria, you can actually get a job in the US, for example. So, there are certain things that are very, very fixed in some kind of way. Okay. So if you look at it, the technical skills that you have, take for example, Python in Nigeria is the same Python you use in the US. There's no different version of Python. Okay. The SQL you do in Nigeria, or you do in Ghana, or you do in any other part of the world, it's the same SQL you use in Canada. It's the same SQL. All right. So these tools, these technologies are the same tool that is used globally. So meaning that if you have the skill, you can actually compete globally. Okay, in the sense that you could actually compete for a job, a role in the US, in Canada, in France, in Germany, any country you find yourself. So that's the reason why we get excited when we ask you this question, because we've helped tons of people, achieve their dreams of transitioning to the tech space based off learning this particular tool, all right, and their experience itself. So I can see a lot of Nigerians on the call. I have someone from Nigeria, Daniel from Nigeria, James from Nigeria, Zai also from Nigeria. Also, it's good to have you guys on the call. Just to also let you know that we're still expecting more people. All right. But yeah, we'll kickstart the session regardless. The session is recorded, so people will get the recording to the session. All right. So for the people joining us for the first time, okay, we usually like to tell you a little bit about analytics and what we stand for. All right. So Analytics is an educational technology firm. Okay. But it's not like any other technology firm that you find there. Okay. We have a goal, we have a purpose, we have a mission, we have a vision that we're looking to achieve. And I'll tell you, it's very clear, very simple. The goal for us is to get more Africans into the tech space. All right. It's as simple and as clear as that. How can we get more Africans into the tech space? Now, let me just paint a scenario for you, or let me tell you the reason why we started analytics so that you know exactly why this vision is very important for us. So when I transitioned myself at days when we transitioned into the tech space, we found out that every role that we're getting into outside the country, all right, we're moving from one role, business analytics, to data analytics, to data engineering, and so on. We found out that majority of these roles, you barely find an African. But within that year, okay, within those couple of years from 2020, 21, 22, and 2019, even earlier, all right, we had a lot of people relocating out of the country. But we never saw people getting this kind of jobs. And when you interact with these people, they felt there's a lot of misconception about the tech space. So we made it our personal goal to see how we can get more Africans into the tech space. So if you're an African outside the country, you're fantastic, you're fine. If you're an African in Nigeria or you're an African in Africa, I would say you are also grand. You are in a safe place. Okay. And that's exactly why we started analytics to see how we can get more Africans into the tech space, to get them interested first off, to get them interested. So the master classes to get you interested, to get you excited, to get you to see that, you know, getting a tech job can actually not be that bad. Do you understand? To get you excited. So that's why we're doing the master class today, to talk to you about cybersecurity. Okay. And also we have the training program that will literally take you one step at a time on how you can actually become a cybersecurity analyst. And those are the things that we're going to be talking about today. There's a lot of misconception in the industry, and that's exactly why we actually started analytics to allay some of those, misconceptions and misunderstanding about the tech space. So essentially, that's what we do. All right. And I'm excited. I'm excited about it because we have done a lot. All right. In the past 2, 3 years now, the past over 4 years, close to 4 years now, we've helped over 2,000 people transition into the tech space. Like over 2,000 people. If you don't believe me, I have proof. It's the only people that don't have proof that would not quote their numbers. We have proof of over 2,000 people across the world, not just in Nigeria, not just Ghanaians, literally South African, Kenyans, Ugandans, South Africans, and all that have transitioned into their desired role within the tech space. We have this proof. And I'm going to show this proof to you. I'm not going to gatekeep or withhold any information. I'm going to show you all this information on how people have been able to transition into the tech space. All right. So essentially, that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay. And who is this person speaking to you? All right. My name is Ifemena Ipro, and I am the co-founder of Tenalytics. So I usually start with my background, my basic background. So I started, my first degree was in economics. So I actually did economics, first degree university was economics. Okay. Started working as a management consultant, did for consulting for like 4 years. So it wasn't anything tech related. So economy, nothing tech related. Two, working as a management consultant, also nothing related to the tech ecosystem. But you see, I was able to transition into the tech space. All right. I was able to transition based off personal learning, discussion, mentorship, and so on. I was able to transition into the tech space. And the duration it took me to transition into the tech space was roughly about over 2 years. Okay. So from working as a management consultant to get to my first role, learning and all that, it took me about 2 years to get my first job in the tech space. But that leads me to another reason why we started analytics. Okay, so after we got the job, after I got the job, after myself and Adesa got the job, we started looking at it and asking ourselves that, pose the question, to date, have taken us 2 years to get a job within the tech space. Now that we're in the industry, if we try to reminisce on the pathway we've taken to getting that job, should it have taken us 2 years to get the job? All right. And the answer was a resounding no. It should have taken us 2 years. So there are so many things, so many hurdles that we faced that made it look like we needed to do it for 2 years in order for us to get a job. All right. And those are the things that we've implemented within analytics. So you see people now getting jobs within a month, within 2 months, within 3 months. These are the things that we have implemented to ensure that you can go through a curriculum, you can go through a structured, well thought out curriculum and ensure that you're able to transition to your desired role, regardless of anywhere you are in the world. Okay, so those are the things that we've put in place. So, as a personal experience, I've worked across the data ecosystem. So, I've worked as a data analyst, I've worked as a data scientist, and I've worked as a data engineer. Currently, I do more of contract positions. So I'm currently like a consultant, a data science consultant for businesses in the UK, US, and Canada, depending on anywhere the business contract comes in. All right. So basically what I do at the moment is implementation. All right. Strategy, data implementation, data science implementation, and so on. So those are the things I do at the moment. And it's exciting. It's an exciting career path. But today we're not going to be talking about the data ecosystem. We're going to be talking about a more interesting, I won't say, okay, a more interesting field, I would say. All right. Something that has, over the years, is increased in terms of demand. All right. Because every business that we do, every business that is being done, that is being completed, is completed online. our session currently, it's literally online. Okay, we're doing the session online. So you see, everything has moved to the virtual world, the web, all right, the internet. The internet is used to fast track, to scale the majority of the business that you have today. So with that scaling in business, with that scale in business, people moving to the internet. All right. If you want to sell your products now, rather than selling a product, rather than selling the product in a shop somewhere in Lagos State, okay, you rather put it online. You put it on Instagram. You put it on Facebook, so that people across the world can actually see that you are selling a particular product. You might actually even create a website to sell that same product. Okay. The moment you start to move your business to the internet, you are, liable to some kind of attacks, scams, okay, all right, threats, and so on and so forth. And that's really what has led to the increase in the demand for cybersecurity analysts. And those are the things we're going to be discussing today. So I'm pretty sure all of you are excited about the career part of the day, cybersecurity analyst. And you're even wondering, what is cybersecurity? What does it entail? What does it take for you to become a cybersecurity analyst, and so on? I want you guys to just relax, sit down, relax. Okay. You don't need to stress yourself. You don't need to do anything. You are the VIP in the session today. Relax, relax. Okay. And we'll talk about everything you need to know about cybersecurity, how to transition, what you need to transition, and so on and so forth. So we're going to go through 5 things today. Number one, getting started in cybersecurity. I'm also going to do an hands-on practical session. Okay. And we'll talk about that in a few seconds. Okay. Number two is the pathway to becoming a cybersecurity analyst and securing a job. As adults, okay, as adults, as professionals, we are prone to learning a skill, not for the fun of it, but to see how we can use it to increase our earning capacity, our impacts, and so on and so forth. All right. So you learning cybersecurity today is to increase your own impact in your career. Do you understand? Okay. So the key thing for us today is to focus on how you can learn cybersecurity and how you can actually land a job in cybersecurity. Okay. Number three, people looking for remote opportunities and also remote and relocation opportunities. We'll explore those things. We'll discuss that also. Once you wait to the end of the session, you'll get to hear about remote opportunity. Are there remote jobs for me? Can I get a remote job as a cybersecurity analyst? That's a resounding yes. Yes, you can. And I will show you practically, I'll show you websites you can actually go check, okay, beforehand, before you make that decision to see that, yes, this can actually, it's possible if I learn this, I can actually get a job within the cybersecurity space, working remotely. I will show you those places today. Number four is the growth internship program. And I'll tell you for free that this is one of the reasons why we've had a huge success in people transitioning within the tech space. So the growth internship program essentially allows you to build your experience, to own your experience within the cybersecurity space. Okay. And number five, we have a special offer for you. So if you wait to the end of the session, okay, you see you have a lot of goodies, you have a lot of, a lot of things to learn from this session. So it's just a 2 hour session, maximum 2 hours. Okay. And we're going to go through these 5 things within 2 hours. So I just need you to relax and we'll walk you through the things that you need. If you have any questions, please use the chat. Just drop them in the chat and every question will be addressed. Okay. So we're going to go through these 5 things, getting started with cybersecurity. I would also do an answer practical session, pathway to become a cybersecurity analyst and securing a job. We'll talk about remote and relocation opportunities for you guys looking to get into cybersecurity. And also, the main discussion, which is the growth internship program, will discuss that extensively. And also, we have a special offer for you, not any other person, no other person, just you. We have a special offer for you. Now, I want to introduce you to a very, very, I would say a very sound professional, experienced, sound, highly intellectual, professional, highly experienced, a wealth of experience. So I want you guys to get your glass cup, okay? You get a glass cup. And I want you guys to come and drink from the wealth of experience of Michael Afolabi. All right. So I would like him to come forward to do his introduction, talk about himself, what he does. Then he is going to be the facilitator for this today's session. He's a very experienced cybersecurity analyst with one of the major biggest banks, financial services organization back in Nigeria. Okay. So Michael, are you there? Are you there? Are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here.
All right. Okay. Everybody has gotten their glass cup here. They want to drink from your world of experience. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
That's
We'll
fine.
go through it together.
All right, fantastic. Okay, I'm excited to hear from you. Excited to also you taking out time to do the session today. So I'm going to hand over to you to do your introduction, talk about yourself, then you can take on with the session. All right. Thank you very much. Should I stop sharing my screen? We can't see you anyways, Michael. I don't know if the video is not turned on. I can't see you. Fantabulous. Fantabulous. I'm more excited now. This is a tech bro. Tech bro. And let's take it over from there. Okay. Thank you very much,
Yeah, great.
Michael.
Okay. So good evening or good morning or good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are. My name is Michael. I will be facilitating this session, right? Just give me a few minutes or a few seconds to share my screen and proceed. Okay, so can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes. Yes. Very clear.
Okay. So great. Thank you very much for that, Femina. Well, you said so much about me. Yeah, my name is Michael Afolabi. I work as an information security engineer within Access Corporation, right? And I've been a security professional for some time, which has given me the opportunity to build security from scratch for both on-prem and cloud infrastructure at different financial organizations, right? So I have seen how organizations build their security program. I have built security programs. I have designed architecture. I have implemented security standards for both on-prem and cloud, right? So, uh, and it's one of the things about cybersecurity. You're able to do extensive work. You're able to actually do meaningful work, right? So, I've had the opportunity to do that, and I hold a number of security certifications, right? Two AWS certifications, which includes the security specialty. I hold five ISO certifications, I think now six, to be honest, because I've had to do lead implementer, lead auditor for ISO 27001, which is Information Security Management System. I've had to do lead implementer, lead auditor for ISO 20000, which is information technology management system. I've had to do lead auditor for a business continuity management system and also ISO 27001, sorry, ISO 27032, which is this cybersecurity manager. I have a CCNA certification and also Security Plus, right? So these are some of the things these are some of the certifications I hold in security, and these are some of the things I have done as a security professional. And I am open to go through this journey with us, right? And show us some things, tell us some things about security and how security is very important. So I start with security is an honorable profession, right? It is very honorable. The fact that as a security professional, you wake up every morning um, with the need or the passion or the drive to show up at work and protect the organization is very, very honorable, right? You're sleeping, you're working, you're doing anything, you're constantly thinking about your company, and then you're protecting the infrastructure of your company, you're protecting your employees, you're protecting the essence of the company, right? It is a very, very it is very, very honorable, right? And it is what I tell anybody that wants to come into cybersecurity. There are a lot of news all over. Year of Year of the bad guys trying to like bring down systems, trying to like hack systems and all of those things, right? But you are a security professional, you're ethical enough to stand against those guys to protect organizations. And it makes, I mean, I've not seen a profession that's more honorable than that, to be honest. And again, Now, because of this, you are expected to do a lot of things, right? You can never get bored in security. I say that with all sense of authority, like you can never get bored in security. But because you're going to be doing things across multiple fields, right? Femina is more into data, right? He's a data scientist, data engineer, all of those things. Even as a security professional, I relate with data engineers, I relate to data analysts, I relate to data scientists, right? When you talk about building the ETL pipeline, right? I have been in those conversations, right? I have designed alongside my data team strategies, or I've designed pipelines, secure pipelines, right, for our data for the entire ETL process, right, which is extract, load, and transform, right, from source to the destination. I'm ensuring that while data is in transit, it is safe. While data is at rest, it is safe, right? When you talk about developers, you're constantly engaging with developers, or constantly looking at the code based developer, you're constantly scanning your code, scanning your applications. These are things you do with developers, right? So it's not one of those professions that you just do one thing over and over again. No, that's one thing about security. You're constantly doing like different things. You can do something different today. You can spend the entire day talking to like your data guys, and then tomorrow you're talking to like your DevOps team, right? You're building infrastructure together, you're designing architecture together, you're building deployment pipeline together. Like you're doing new things every day, right? And it's I don't know, for someone like me who gets bored. I mean, I get bored when I do things over and over, right? uh Security has been that part where I'm able to like go out to work, show up every day knowing that I'm going to find something interesting, right? And one thing I say to people is that it's all connected, right? It is all connected. If you read a security article today, it could be on something random, right? I mean, you would think that I don't really understand what I'm reading. Let me just read this today. But I give you years after, or even months after, or weeks after, you will at a point feel like, oh, really? I read this thing, so this is how it relates with this, right? It doesn't really matter. Security has so many domains, which we're going to talk about in this master class, but I can tell you that everything connects. So the ability to just come into organizations, to wake up every day, to show up every day, protecting your organization, keeping your data safe is very honorable. And with this, I say that it is important for us to know that security is a journey. It is not a finish. There's no finish line to it, right? It's not the finish line. You can't sell security as a product. You cannot brand security as a product. It is continuous. It is always a journey, right? There's no point. There's never going to be a time where maybe organizations will come up and say, you know what, we're done. Now we're secure. Now we don't need security professionals anymore. There will never be that time. Never be that time. It doesn't matter if it's the time of blockchain. I mean, some years ago, 2, 3 years ago, it was blockchain. Like blockchain was a disruptive technology. Then everybody was talking about blockchain. And then we're talking about decentralization, all of these things. And then security became a thing, right? So it became a thing so much that one of the highest or one of the biggest hack that has ever happened actually happened on a blockchain network, right? If you can go ahead and read about Axie Infinity hack. So Axie Infinity hack was a hack that started with something that looked like a job interview, right? A developer was maybe a developer or DevOps person was, I think a developer actually, was contacted on LinkedIn, interviews were conducted, and all of these things were done just to hack the company, right? And the company lost a lot of money, I think up to like $600 million, right? And then this led to questions being asked. And then blockchain security became a thing, and it's still a thing. A lot of people are making money off blockchain security. A lot of people are making money off Web3 security. Now, we talk about AI, right? AI is the disruptive technology that we'll talk about now. And even at that, right, security is important. Everyone is looking for ways to ensure that these AI tools are not leveraged for bad things, right? These AI tools are used in secure ways, right? Organizations are ensuring that there are important security processes in place to ensure that the employees are not feeding AI with personal data. So data security is even becoming more serious. And I'm saying all of this to tell you that it is always going to be a journey. There will never be a time where we feel like, you know what, we can automate everything, let everyone go and sleep, let security professionals go and sleep. We're not hiring security professionals anymore. That's never going to happen. So it is a journey, and we are just getting started. It's going to even get way more interesting. So, I mean, that being said, I would like to just ask all of us, right? What do we really think cybersecurity is about? If you can drop a message in chat, I would appreciate that. Let's just ask ourselves, right? 1 year of cybersecurity, what do you think it's all about? So I'll be looking through the charts to see if anyone is going to tell us. Someone says they can't see anything. You can see there's a response to that. Please increase the volume. Okay. So I see Unambi says proactive more than reactive measure. Okay. Okay. Um, that's right. Security of the cyberspace. Okay. Great. Um, great. So keep them coming. Waiting for 2 more responses, and then we proceed. So you tell me, what do you think cybersecurity is all about? Securing data, assets, and people. Okay, okay. Perfect, perfect. Um, yeah, the integrity, availability, and confidentiality of information. Huh, very nice. Um, yeah, I actually love that. So yes, I mean, we said everything we said. Is actually right. It's proactive in cybersecurity. We try to be proactive, we're not reactive. We try to stay ahead of the curve. We try to protect and detect, right? We put measures in place to protect and then to detect if there's anything. So yeah, it's very proactive. Someone talked about integrity, confidentiality, and availability. Great. I mean, spot on. Someone talked about the protection of assets and people and information. Great. So all of these are correct answers, like absolutely correct. And then I am just going to put everything together to say that cybersecurity is a practice of preventing illegal access, attack, damage, and theft from occurring to computer systems, network, and digital information, right? So that's really what it's all about. In cybersecurity, our focus is to do just one thing, right? And that focus is to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of IT resources and data. I mean, you can say three things, but we ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of IT resources and data. And we call these the objectives of cybersecurity, right? Whatever we do, three things must be assured, right? Three things must be assured. Your data and your resources must remain confidential. Your data and resources must maintain their integrity. Your data and resources must be available, right? I say to people that in as much as we want to do cybersecurity, right? In as much as we want to ensure that everywhere is safe, we want to ensure that, you know what, attackers cannot break into our systems, attackers cannot just steal our data, right? All of this will not make any sense if the people who require access, right, to data, right, if our customers, say for example, we are a bank, right, and we require people to actually carry out transactions on our application, our security will not make sense if our users cannot use our application. So maybe because we don't want attackers to come in and break and steal our data or steal our money, we have now put in measures to make everything very, very tight, right? And then people begin to, I mean, this now stops people from making transactions, right? Security has failed. That's just what it means. Maybe because you don't want You don't want attackers to compromise your system, so you keep on deploying different measures on your employees' laptop to prevent theft and all of those things. And then because of that, your actual employees cannot work anymore. It's security has failed in that regard, right? So let's now look. Let's just look at the let's look at the CIA triad, right? So the CIA triad it really speaks to confidentiality, integrity, and availability, right? It is the foundational framework in information security. In fact, if you say you are an information security professional, right? Or yeah, if you say you're an information security professional and you do not know what the CIA triad is, I mean, it already says so much about you, right? So in information security, just like I've said, our foundational framework, our objective stands on the CIA triad, right? And it's we've talked about it. It stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. And then these principles they help organizations to develop comprehensive strategies, right? This is what we now carry out our assessment based on. We look at the data, we look at the resources of the organization, and we'll begin to define certain things. We begin to come up with strategies to ensure that, you know what, at every point in time, we have put in measures in place for confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Right, so this is it basically the CIA triad, and we can see information security just sitting pretty in the middle of it. So what is confidentiality? That's the next question. Confidentiality ensures that data is only accessible to authorized individuals and entity. So I mean, if you're working in an organization, you have like your IT team, your tech team that require access to your, maybe they require access to some things in them, they require access to your code base, or they require access to your database, for example. And they need this access to actually carry out their job, right? They need this access to work, right? Confidentiality would ensure that only the people who are authorized, right? Only your developers who are authorized to access your code base and your database are the ones that have access to it, right? They are the only ones that have access to it. If any other person, so maybe someone outside the tech team who shouldn't have access to that thing, even if the person is within the organization, right? Even if the person is employed by the organization, but the person doesn't need access to it. If that person is able to access the code base or your database, it just means that confidentiality has been compromised, right? I am a security professional in my organization. I develop strategies across so many domains, right? But I don't have access to everything in the organization, right? I do not have access to everything in the organization. If I begin to have access to everything in the organization that I don't need to function, it can be said that confidentiality has been broken, right? The people that are working in our customer service, they use different tools, they use different applications, right? Which I do not need access to. I don't need access to the customer's data on our customer management system, right? But if anything happens and I'm able to break into that system to get customers' data, we can say then that confidentiality has been broken, and we can say then that our security has been breached. Now, this is in the context of myself, who is even in the organization, and I'm not only in the organization, I am in the information security team, right? And even at that, we need to put in measures to ensure that only people who are authorized have access to resources. And then we'll go to integrity. So integrity is really just maintaining the accuracy, consistency, and trustworthiness of data throughout its life cycle, right? So if, for example, I want to talk to let me pick someone. Sorry, I need to go back. So let me pick someone on the call. So if, for example, I want to talk to Ayobami, right? So I send Ayobami a message. Maybe I send him or her I, like HI, right? And when Ayobami gets the message, Ayobami sees hello, right? It means that the integrity of the message that I sent to him has been compromised because I sent I, it got hello. How could that have happened, right? It's because someone must have intercepted our communication and the person must have changed certain things, right? Or maybe I sent I like small h and small I, small letter h and small letter I, and then it gets it and it says capital letter H and small letter I, right? It means that the integrity of that communication has been broken, right? And that communication can no longer be considered secure. The security of our communication has been breached. So integrity, the integrity leg speaks to maintaining the accuracy, the consistency at every point in time, at any point in time. Your data must be preserved just the way they should be, right? No one should be able to go into your system to change your details. No one should be able to go into your system to change your configuration, all of those things. So we put in measures in place to ensure that that doesn't happen. And this is one of our objectives in security. Then we speak to availability. So availability is ensuring that data and resources are accessible and usable when needed by authorized users. I talked about like a bank that has like so many security strategies or so many security controls, and then they have done this in a way that users can no longer carry out transactions, right? Maybe the system is now very slow, maybe because you have some scans that happen like every time on your system. Now your system is very slow, you're unable to use it. And in fact, sometimes when you try to use it, it's just totally unusable, right? If that happens, or when that happens, you can say that the security of that system has also been compromised. And this is what the bad guys do in cases where some of us must have heard of like denial of service or even distributed denial of service, right? What that means is that so maybe your service, you have this application that is supposed to take, let's say, 100 requests per second, right? So you built an application that is supposed to take 100 requests per second, and then all of a sudden you're seeing 1,000 requests every second, right? And this is what DDoS is all about, right? So attackers will flood your application, they will flood your system with so much traffic that your system will not be able to process every other traffic, right? So an attacker would focus on your system and then begin to send like a lot of data to it. And then when that happens, other people who should have access to that system no longer has access to it, right? And the availability of that system has been compromised. Sometimes you may ask yourself, right? If this happens, what do the attackers get to lose or get to gain in this scenario? It may not even be financial. It may not be financial benefits. It's just the fact that you as a business can no longer operate. That's what they want. They just don't want you to not be able to operate, and that is fine with them. So just if they're able to compromise that leg of availability of your system, they can say that it could be said that the security of your system has been breached. And then so we move to the three main pillars of security. Now we've talked about objectives of security. We've talked about confidentiality, ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of our system and resources. Those are the objectives. And now we move to the main pillars of cybersecurity. Whenever I'm talking to people within my organization, right, and then I'm talking to them about cybersecurity, I say to them all the time that, you know what, some of you may think that we already have an information security department. We've put in processes, we've put in policies, we have tools that we're using. And then you begin to ask yourself that, okay, if there's an information security department, why then are you constantly talking to me about security? What is my business? Is that not your job? Shouldn't you be the one to undo it? And then I say it all the time to them that, you know what, it is because you people are the most important part of any security program, right? Any security program that does not regard people will fail. like it will fail woefully. So it is important for us to understand that security stands on three legs, right? These are the pillars that hold security, and the pillars are people, processes, and technology. It's never about technology alone. It's never about having a budget of $1 billion to buy tools, right? Just be buying tools every single day of the year. It's never about that. It is always a fusion of people. I mean, the people leg is even the most important leg of any security program, because people define processes. We as the organization will define the way we want our security processes to be, right? And then we say, okay, these are the things, these are the acceptable actions that can be taken, these are the acceptable procedures that can be taken in the organization. We define these things, right? And then after we must have defined the processes, we must have written policies. We can now begin to leverage tools to enhance these policies that we've defined, these processes that we've defined. So we've defined that in our organization, we should have endpoint security tools. We can now go ahead and buy endpoint security tools, use that to enhance our processes, and then people will always even be the one to manage these tools, right? So it's a fusion of these three things, and these are the main pillars of cybersecurity. And we're having this conversation so that we understand the entire scope of cybersecurity. Let's not think that security is all about maybe writing codes, or it's all about buying tools, or it's all about just technical things, right? No, it's definitely not. People have made career of the non-technical part of cybersecurity, right? An example is Rachel Tobak. Rachel Tobak is she's a security professional, a very respected security professional, and she essentially started her career. And even at the moment, her career is she majorly speaks to social engineering, right? Which is not, I mean, which is not technical in itself, right? It's not technical. It's not technical in itself, because you're leveraging human emotions. You're interacting with people to extract information out of them, and all of those things. So she has found a way to emphasize on the people part of security, to build people up, to train people when it comes to security, because humans, we need to be working firewalls for our organizations, right? We need to be able to protect our organizations, our conduct, the things we say, the way we interact with people, the information we share, all of these things we can expose our organization. So she has built a career, and she's building a career, and she's doing a lot more, but she's emphasizing on the people part of security and building programs to ensure that the people part of security stays very, very intact. So yes, these are the three main pillars of security. And then we've talked about the CIA triad, we've talked about confidentiality, we've talked about integrity, we've talked about availability. And then the question is, oh yes, we said confidentiality, but what do we do to ensure confidentiality, right? Some of the things we do include encryption. So if I want to talk to, let me pick someone else. If I want to talk to Daniel, for example, if I want to talk to Daniel and I need to, I mean, we're about 40 people on this call, right? I see that a lot more people keep joining. So if I want to talk to Daniel, I encrypt my data, which are some of the things that we actually do practically in our classes, right? So such as like encryption of data, I convert my hello, how are you doing? I convert it into a message that will not be readable unless you use a key to decrypt that message. And then I send it to Daniel. And because Daniel has the key, Daniel is able to decrypt the message and read what I've sent to him. Now, what this means is that if Ejiro, for example, intercepts this traffic and Ejiro looks at it, Ejiro will not be able to make sense out of what has been sent because that message is encrypted. And then we also use tokenization, which is like a digital representation, right? So maybe you must have defined like your schema, and then you digitally represent whatever you're storing, such that anybody who looks at it will not be able to make sense out of it. And then masking, we also have like access control method to ensure that only people who require access actually have access, right? So you put in measures. Sometimes it could even be like all of those the fence, the biometrics lock, all those ID lock, and all of those things. They are access controls just to ensure that only authorized people have access to places. And then for integrity, we also do some sort of conversion, and we actually call this hashing in security. We're not going to go deep. We're not yet to talk about all of these things. We just want to like some hands-on things, but it's important for us to understand the fundamentals of security, and then we can begin to build up on it. And then we have digital signature, which means that if I want to send a message to Daniel again, for example, hello Daniel, I hope you're good. If I want to send a message to Daniel, I sign the message and then I send to him. So if he gets it, he looks at it. If he sees that it's still my signature that is on it, he knows that, oh yes, it's coming from me, and then he's able to say that yes, it has not been changed. If in transit someone intercepts that traffic and then maybe changes it, the signature will change, and then he already knows that, you know what, this message is not coming from Michael. And then we also have access control. And then for availability, we have redundancy, so we have backup. And this is also to tell us that it is important to make backups of our data. So your phone, your laptops, whatever, back them up. These are security measures that we take. And one of the things I like about security is that it tells in your life. So it's not just a thing that you're doing maybe for an organization. It's just very abstract. Like the more you learn about security, the more the quality of your own life even increases, right? So personal security increases. The way it's not even just about you now, the people around you, you begin to communicate to them, say, oh, don't do that. Don't repeat your passwords. Use one password for every account. You begin to, just help them become better individuals. So this is just to say that, like I said, it's very honorable, and we're change makers. We change people. Our influence is felt everywhere. It's not even just by organization. It's literally everywhere, everyone around us. We help everyone become better. We are the real people who make the world a better place. Yeah, and then again, so let me say that there are a lot of domains in cybersecurity. There are a lot of domains. Network security is a domain. People, just as the way all of these things are, you can pick one and say, this is the one I want to build my career on. And you're going to have a very fantastic career. Like, you're going to have an amazing career, right? Just by picking one. And if you feel like, I don't want to pick one, I want to do two, I want to do network security and application security, fine, pick out those two, be very good at them, and you're going to have an amazing career. In fact, if you say, I don't want to do two, I want to do four, very fine, do four, be amazing at the things you do, and you're going to have a very smooth career. And if you say, you know what, I want to learn across everything, great too. You're able to do that. So security gives that option. Like, it gives you leverage to just do everything across the field, right? As much as there are a lot of domains in security, up to about maybe 8 or 10. Here we have 8. You could even expand that even more. And you're going to see that you can be amazing. You can pick one and be great at it. Identity and access management, digital forensic and incident response, security governance and compliance. These are the GRC guys. These are the guys that write policies. These are the guys that document our processes. These are the guys that ensure that we comply to what CBN says, maybe in Nigeria, for example. These are the guys that ensure that we comply to what US SEC says, for example. These are the guys that ensure that we comply to the requirement of GDPR in Europe. These are the guys that ensure that we comply to the requirements of anywhere we are. Because, to be honest, it doesn't matter where you are. And just as Ifemina said, it is a very, very transitive skill, right? You're doing security engineering in Nigeria, it's still the same thing. Like, it's like they can pick you out of Nigeria and take you to Australia, as far as Australia, and you're going to feel like it's just a continuation of your processes. Nothing is going to change. Whatever you're doing in Nigeria is what's going to happen anywhere else. It's still, we're still doing security programs everywhere. Well, because of regulatory requirements. So in Nigeria, we have some regulations. We have like the NDPR that became the NDPA. I mean, we're using both together. The NDPR is Nigeria Data Protection Regulation. The NDPA is Nigeria Data Protection Act. We have all of those things together. We have some frameworks by the Central Bank of Nigeria. If you go into Europe, you begin to look at the GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation, and all of those things, right? So there may be some differences in all of these regulatory requirements, but at the core of it, the principles remain the same, and you can leverage on whatever you're doing anywhere. If you're a security professional in Canada, absolutely fine. From Canada, you can go to anywhere in America and you're going to enjoy your life. From Canada, you can go to anywhere in Europe and you're going to enjoy your life, right? It's basically the same thing, right? And it's very transitive. So cloud security, absolutely spot on. That's a lot of people are going to cloud security now, right? And we're helping organizations stay safe in the cloud because everyone is migrating to the cloud. Everyone is trying to like take advantage of the benefits that come to the cloud, and it is important for us to step up as a security professional and be there to help organizations move securely in the cloud, deploy securely in the cloud, and carry out operations securely in the cloud. So network security, we talked about it, and a very, very important aspect of network security monitoring, right? It is very important for you to identify and respond to security threats, right, within your environment. And for you to do that, two important components are traffic capture and packet analysis, which is what we will be doing here, right? As a security professional, you're a network security professional in your organization, you're monitoring the traffic in your environment, right? So you're monitoring the traffic that comes in and traffic that goes out, and you would have to capture this traffic. You would have to, I mean, what systems are literally sending? I mean, what exactly is going into your system? You capture that message, you capture the flow of information into a system, and you begin to analyze it. It gets as deep as that, right? It gets as deep as that you can take traffic, you can see that Michael's system is talking to Adam's system, for example, and then you can monitor the communication that is happening between those two systems, and then you can read through whatever they are saying as much as possible. Sometimes the communication can be encrypted. You can use certain protocols to ensure that whoever is trying to read your communication is unable to read it properly. But as a security professional, you can capture traffic, and then you can begin to analyze it, right? And this is a step when you talk about network security. You capture traffic and you do packet analysis. They are major components of network security monitoring. And this is what we'll be doing for some few minutes, right? So we'll be analyzing traffic, right? We'll be going into a lab environment, right? We will be using, so I've spoken about traffic capture, right? Just to like finish up this before we go into the lab, traffic capture will entail collecting network data from different sources, right? So from a laptop, from a router, and all of those things. We'll collect data from it, and then we'll begin to analyze it, right? And this is what we will be doing in our lab, right? So one of the tools that we use for capturing traffic and analyzing traffic is Wireshark. Wireshark is very, very popular. You can have it installed on your laptop. In fact, just maybe for the rest of today, after this class, you can just download Wireshark and then run Wireshark on your system and just look at, you'll be able to see what is going on within your system. And it will surprise you that maybe you're just using WhatsApp on your system. It will surprise you that it's not just WhatsApp that you're using. Your system is constantly just communicating with a lot of other systems, right, on the internet. A lot of messages are sent to your system. A lot of messages get sent from your system to the internet. You'll be able to see the packets, and then you can now go ahead to investigate this packet. You can now go ahead to understand what each of these packets means. So Wireshark is the tool for that. And then there are a few ways to analyze. So we have the things called filter, which are some of the things that we will be doing during our labs, right? We'll be trying to analyze traffic. So some of the filters include all of these things that was seen on the screen. You can filter based on IP address, you can filter based on ports, you can filter based on the type of request that is sent, you can filter based on the Ethernet address of your laptop. So a lot of things that you can do with it, right? So I think with that, we've done, like, we've talked about some things, right? But now let's just get into practicals. Let's see how we can analyze traffic. Let's see what it feels like analyzing traffic. Let's see how we're able to make sense out of traffic or out of packets. So yes, we will be proceeding to that. But before we proceed, if Femina, would there be anything, or I should just go ahead to the lab?
Yeah, sure, you can go ahead. Yeah, we're all ears. I'm excited to see it also myself, and I'm sure every other person is excited to see it.
Okay. So let me just extend this time. Great. So Let's Defend is I mean, they provide a learning platform for security professionals, right? And I mean, with Let's Defend, you're able to do some hands-on things, right? I mean, you may look at it and say, well, it's a platform, but let me tell you the truth. This is real life. This is real life. This is what we do. Before I became a security professional, I was a network engineer, right? And I was already working with Wireshark, and these are the things I do even with Wireshark. And then when I now became a security engineer, it became more interesting. There was a time that every day I was constantly just using Wireshark, just analyzing packets, right? So these are the things that we will do. The filters that we've seen are the filters that we're going to be using, right? So yeah, so let's just get into it. So they have given us a lab. So this is a packet capture analysis. So PCAP means packet capture. And then they have given us a lab. They said, we've captured the traffic from P3's computer. Can you help him? Right? Imagine someone comes to you and says that my laptop is misbehaving and I need you
Sorry,
to
sorry,
analyze.
Michael.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, we are still seeing your slides. We can't see.
Okay. Let me just reshare that. Um, um, okay, I see that it's been pushed. Hold on. Okay, what about now?
Fantastic, yes, all good.
Okay, great. So yeah, I spoke about Let's Defend, and then we'll be doing this lab pickup analysis, packet capture analysis, which is a major aspect of network security, right? And this lab says that we've captured the traffic from P13 computer, right? Imagine P13 as a user environment, right? So they've captured traffic from this user environment. Something is wrong. We're trying to identify what is wrong. And can you help us? Really, these are the ways your request to come. Maybe a laptop is misbehaving in your environment. You get that laptop, you begin to analyze the behavior of that laptop, right? So it's what we do. And then they've told us that, you know what, this packet capture that we want to work with is at this location: root, desktop, challenge file, pickup analysis, then pickup engine. Right? So this is the computer that we'll be working with today. And then this is just the packet capture, right? So if you come here, we'll click here, and then we'll see this, right? So we've talked about Wireshark. So Wireshark is a tool that helps with packet capture, right? I mean, I challenge us this evening to, after this class, download Wireshark on your system, open it up, and see what happens. Just look through it and just observe the way it's working. Now, at the moment, you may not be able to understand, I mean, everything that is happening there, but these are the things we do in security. Security is going to expose you to the ability to understand what is happening in your system. It's going to give you the ability to investigate and then it's going to help you make sense out of the connections that your system is making. So in this case, we've captured, so we've downloaded Wireshark to this system. It comes with a lab, and then traffic has been captured, and then we're looking at the traffic, and we're like, what is this? I'm seeing a lot of things: time, source, destination, protocol, length information. What am I really looking at, right? But we're going to make sense out of it. So remember, they said that they've captured traffic from P13's computer. So this is P13's computer that we're looking at, and we're looking at the traffic on P13's computer. Now, the first question is, in network communication, what are the IP addresses of the sender and receiver? Really? How do I get the IP address of the sender and receiver? So we're supposed to provide that answer, all right? And before we get that answer, we need to investigate this traffic. So just the way we talked about the different filters that you can use, in Wireshark, those are the things that we use to analyze traffic. Say, for example, if you're trying to understand the IP address that your laptop is talking to, right? One thing you can do is to use this flag. So you can use this, what's it called? You can use this filter, IP address. Then you put in an IP address, right? So let's say you want to put in 192.168.235. Let's just do the first one, 237, right? So if you do this, you begin to see communications to this particular IP address, right? So an IP address in computer is a unique identifier. Every laptop, every system on the internet has an IP address, right? Every system on the internet, your phone has an IP address, your laptop has an IP address, just the way all of us have names, right? I have a name, Ifemina has a name, Ayobami has a name, Adam has a name, Ejiro has a name, Daniel has a name, right? Computers too, they have identifiers, right? And IP addresses are the identifier. If you use a smart TV in your house, that your TV has an IP address, right? With which, if you need to find your TV, you can put in the IP address, right? And you're going to find your TV. So now on Wireshark, we're able to look at our packets, and we can now filter. We can search for specific IP addresses to say, okay, why is my laptop talking to this particular destination? Why is my laptop interacting with this particular device, right? And then if you put the IP address, you're able to see the traffic, see what your laptop is sending to that system, and then you're able to analyze it. So in this case, right, they've told us that we need to analyze traffic from a system, and then they said that there's a communication that is happening. So P13 is talking to someone on the network, right? Can we identify what P13 is saying to the person? So a way to do this is to now filter the packet. So a filter would be frame contains P13. So what we're doing here is that we are searching the packets, we're searching this communication for anywhere that P13 would come up, right? So if I click enter, good. So you can see that it has filtered this communication, right? And it's showing me the connections, it's showing me the packets, right? So when you think about packets, so packets in computing is a unit of communication. Your laptop is talking to your phone, and they are exchanging something called packets, just the way I am exchanging words, right? Just the way I'm speaking words to you. Computers on the internet, they speak with packets, right? Within your small network that is not on the internet, they may be speaking with maybe frames. So all of these are just units of communications, right? There are ways you look at communication when it comes to computing, right? So we are analyzing packets, and then
were looking for the word P13 because they have told us that P13 is talking to someone. Can you help me identify the person that P13 is talking to? So because of that, we're searching the traffic, we're searching whatever is being sent from P13, and they were looking for the word P13 actually in that communication, right? So this is why we use this filter. Frame includes P13, right? Frame, just as I said, is a unit of communication too in computing, but it's just below. A frame is smaller than the packet. So a frame is smaller than the packet, and the packet goes on the internet. So within your small, maybe in your house, for example, now you have your TV, you have your laptop, you have your maybe even your washing machine that has internet and all of those things. All of these devices, if they need to communicate within your environment, your house, they will be sending frames. But if they need to communicate over the internet, which is broader, and then they need to go out of your local area network, your home network, they will now be using packet as communication. So frame is a unit of communication that exists in local area network. Think of local area network like your home network. So we're now searching our packets for P13, right? And then look at this first one, for example. We can see number 2398. Really, they've spoken a lot. You can even see it up to 24,000 083. I think that's okay. Yeah, that's what that is. So look at this first one. What we can now do is to right click on it, and then we follow, right? So we want to follow the conversation. We want to investigate it. What are they even talking about? So we follow TCP stream. Good. So we can see now, this is why our filter work, right? So you can see this conversation that P13 is actually there, and this is what we're able to filter out. So it says P13 is talking to someone, CU713, and he's asking, hey, CU713, it's been a while, how have you been? So they are chatting, right? Just imagine we're able to capture this conversation that is happening. And then it says that P713 says, hey, P13, I'm good, thanks. I've been working on something cool lately. Well, we all are. And then P13 was like, oh, really, what's that? So they had all of these chit chats, and then somewhere along the line, CU713 says, I've created a new file encryption script. It is pretty awesome. Just sort of this chat that they're having, right? It shows that as a security professional, we're able to capture, well, we're actually able to capture these things. And if, we've talked about confidentiality. If we do not encrypt our communication, this is how our communication can be intercepted and read by anybody else, right? And for that not to happen, we now encrypt our communication. So yes, they're having a chat, and then I think here P13 has given P13 CU713 has told P13 to find something, right? And then at the end of the conversation, CU713 says, oh, before I just want to let you know that I left the country. So I think it was meant to say, oh, before I go, I just want to, but yeah. So it says, oh, before I just want to let you know that I've left the country and don't ask me for proof. I will just send something for you. Bye. So they had a chat, and then which is nice. So I mean, interesting, but this is not what we want to do. Let me just move this away. So they had a chat, interesting. Our own work is to, let me go back to the actual frame content P13 that we used. So our work here is to, so they said in network communication, what are the IP addresses of the sender and the receiver? So we can see here that the sender, in this case, is the source. So 192.168.235.137, and the destination is 192.168.235.131. Great. So we are going to enter this here. So what's the sender's IP address? 192.168.235.137. Good. And then it says we should put a comma at the back. And what's the receiver's IP address? 192.168.
235.131. So you can see that they are talking. I mean, if you look at the first 192.192, the same thing, 168.168, the same thing, 235.235, the same thing. Right? So you can see that they are actually talking within a small network, like a local area network, maybe like an office network or home network or whatever. So yeah, we've gotten that. In fact, let's look at the hints they've said. So they said, oh, that we should find the chart, send ISP13. So we've already done that, right? So we can just submit. Let's see. Great. So they said that we've gotten that. Let's just continue. So we've been able to identify the communication that has happened between both of them. We've been able to read out the communication, and then we've now even been able to get the sender IP address and the receiver IP address. We're still going to do more interesting things. So it says P13 uploaded a file to a web server. What is the IP address of the server? So in your environment, someone has uploaded something, right? So maybe there's a server, or maybe an attacker is in your environment and they've uploaded something to a server. This is basically how we can find the file that has been uploaded, right? So if told us that P13 has uploaded a file to a web server, what's the IP address of the web server? Now, interesting thing, right? Security is very cool in the fact that you get to use a lot of tools, right? But when it comes to using tools, these tools are built on certain fundamentals. Remember, people, processes, technology. Tools are like the last thing, right? You need to understand the processes. You need to understand how things work. You need to understand how things are set to work. So for us to be able to solve this lab, we need to now go back to our understanding of computing. And this is why when we want to learn security, we take it from the basic, like we actually go from fundamentals of security, then we'll go to fundamentals of computing. In fact, we go from fundamentals of computing to fundamentals of security, because it's very important for us to understand computing before we can secure. You cannot secure a process you don't know. You cannot secure something that you're not aware of. So we need to cast our minds back to understanding the basics. And it's one of the things that I can say about analytics. The modules are designed in such a way that it takes you from the basics right to a very, very great level that you can now look back and say, oh, I actually started from a point where I did not know these things to a point where I can now say that I am a security professional. I am a security analyst. But just as I said, it is not a finish line. It will always be a journey, right? But analytics is able to take you from that ground zero to 90, and then you can now day by day continue to enhance your skill with the help of like the other modules that come, your CV optimization, mentorship, and all of these things, right? To further even help you become a better individual and a better security professional. So just to answer this, I said all of those things to actually answer this, right? And it says that we need to a file has been uploaded. So the question is, when computers are talking, right? When you try to access a website, when you try to access, let's say, for example, Twitter, what happens is that when you click on that sign-in page, you are, it's more like you're getting the page, you're downloading the page to your system, right? You're telling the server that, what, send me the content of your sign-in page, right? So what you're doing is you're making a get request to Twitter to get the sign-in page. Now, the interesting thing is that after you must have gotten that page, when you want to log in with your username, and then you type in your username and password, and you send that thing back to the server, right? You're sending a different type of request, and that request is called a post request. So I'm going to show us something. Let me open a new tab. I need to move this thing. I need to be actually be able to hide this thing. But you know what? I guess very. So let me just hide this thing, right? Hide panel. Okay, so let me show you something. I don't know if you're still able to see this screen. So HTTP methods, right? So if we click on this, can you confirm that you can see this, what I'm doing? Can anyone confirm that?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so you can see HTTP request method, right?
Exactly, yes.
Great. So so HTTP request method, it says HTTP works as a request response protocol between a client and a server, right? So if my laptop is trying to maybe go to youtube.com, right? That's a request between my laptop, which is the client, and YouTube, which is the server. So that communication happens with a lot of requests being sent, and these requests are grouped based on what I wanted to do, right? I'm not sure this is the right link to open, because that does not explain it to us. So you can see, so there are different methods that are used. So a get method request request a representation of a specified resource. So if you want to, maybe you go to a website and you need to load a particular page, you're getting that page. Another type of method is the post method. So the post method submits an entry, right? So if you go to the post method, if you're using the post method, it means that you are submitting an entry to a website. You're uploading something, right? So with this understanding, you're able to know that, okay, if they've said that P13 has uploaded something, it means that P13 must have sent a post request, right? If an attacker is in your environment and that attacker has uploaded something to a server, the attacker must have sent a post request to that server. So when you're trying to analyze, you begin to understand that, okay, a good way to approach this is to search for every post request that has been done maybe within a time frame, right? And this is what we'll be doing here, because they've told us that this P13 has uploaded something. Let us find it. And how do we find it? We know that any upload, we'll use the post request, right? And then any download, we use the get. So if they say that, for example, if the question was that P13 has downloaded something, now we can begin to search for get request, because to download is to get something, to upload is to post something. So we're going to use a filter in wireshark, right? And that filter is HTTP. So this is the filter that we use, HTTP method, HTTP request method, equals posts, right? And then we search with that. Good. So we can see streams of packet again, right? And then so let's open this first one and analyze it. So let's follow TCP stream. We see that this is a post request to panel.php, and then we can see the host, the IP address of the server, right? And then we can see all of this is called the HTTP header. It's in computing. So we can see this thing, and then let's see what the question says. So it looks like we've seen something. If we begin to scroll down, we can see some things that we do not even know what this is. When you're analyzing packets, you need to be patient, right? You need to be very patient, and you need to be meticulous in your approach. So we're seeing all of these things, but you know what? Let's just continue to search if you can get something more interesting. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. It's a lot of things that we cannot comprehend. But you know what? Let's get to the end of it, because this is looking interesting. We can see that this is a post request. Okay. There's something here for us, right? So it says that, so we can see, we can even see that it says name, upload, submit. We can see this again. So
when the upload was done, this is like the response. You can see HTTP 200 OK, which says, oh yes, I've gotten what you sent to me. You can see file uploaded at uploads/file. And then you can see the content of that web page. You can see upload your file, form method is post. Okay, so this there's something here for us, really. Right, so let's look at what the question says again. So the question is, P13 uploaded a file to a web server. What is the IP address of the web server? I think we saw an IP address at the beginning of this this thing. Let's go back. Okay, great. So it's a post request to this page, and then this is the HTTP version. This is the host. This is the IP address. Remember, IP address. An IP address is a unique identifier for a system on the internet. Okay, so 192.168.1.7. Okay, let's fill that in. 192.168.1.7, and then let's submit that. Okay, so that's the IP address of the server that P13 uploaded to. And then the next question is, what is the name of the file that was sent through the network? What's the name of the file? That's interesting. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. This is content deposition, form data, name file, file name file. Okay. So we've gotten the traffic, we've gotten the name of the server, and then we're even seeing the file name as file. Okay. Then let's put in file here. Interesting. And then the next question is, what is the name of the web server where the file was uploaded? Okay, looks like we are going to spend some time here. So we've seen that P13 used, for example, this user agent is saying that P13 actually used Mozilla. So person probably used Mozilla. This is the user agent that the person used to access this site. Let me see if we can get another thing, keep alive all of these things, and then we're back to this. So let's just scroll down. Let's see if we can get some information from the other part of the page. Okay, let's scroll down. Okay, I think we'll scroll. Let's go. Okay, let's go back to this header. So we can see, it says this is server's response. Now, remember the first part is the request, and that was why we saw the browser that or the agents that P13 used. But on this side, we were seeing the server's response, and we're seeing server Apache. Look at the date this conversation happened. Server Apache. Just look at the ability to just be able to understand and investigate these things, right? It's interesting. I tell you, imagine you just investigating this every day, like a whole day. You're just trying to like investigate. You're curious. You're trying to understand. You're trying to make sense out of conversations, out of interactions between computers, and then you're able to like pick out any attempts to exploit your system. It's interesting, and when you find something, it just goes wow, like your mind just blows up. So the server is Apache. Okay, so Apache, you can even see the version 2.4.53, and then we can see it's powered by PHP, this version of PHP. All of these things are very interesting. For example, if you now want to even hack this system, all of these versions that you are seeing will come in handy when it comes to exploiting a system, right? So Apache, right? Let's just go. And then, yeah, so it says what is the name of the web server, right? So Apache. That's, I mean, it says server Apache. Okay, correct. Now the next question is, what directory was the file uploaded to? Looks like we'll still spend some time here. We just keep investigating this, and we'll see that here it says file uploaded at uploads/file, right? So this is the directory.
right? Again, this speaks to the fact that in security, we must understand directory paths, right? These are things that we cover up during the course of the class. We're able to understand the directory paths, and then it says that upload this directory, and then the file is uploaded into this upload directory. So let's just go there and type uploads. Let's see. Oh, interesting. And then it says here that how long did it take the sender to send the encrypted file? This is where it even gets more interesting. So now we are looking for the time it took for this file to be uploaded.
Hello, Michael.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you perfect. Perfect. Yes. So we promised the guys that we're gonna do 2 hours, okay? I don't know
Yeah.
if that's enough for today's session. What do you
Yeah,
think?
it's just one more. I mean, this is the last question we'll be answering, and then we'll just
Oh, okay. All right,
yeah.
that's fine, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So so let's just get straight into it. Let's look at this to see if we can get the time. No, we cannot. So a way to get the time is, let's close this up, and then let's close this up so we can see the conversation is between one. So let's take note of this. Conversation is between 192.168.1.7 and 192.168.235 .137. So let's close this. Let's close it up, and then we come to statistics, and then we come to conversations, because it is a conversation that is happening. Now, one thing we can do is, if we come to IP addresses, we can begin to look at conversations between systems. And what we want to do is we want to look for the IP address of P13 and the IP address of the host, right? So we'll be looking through it to find, just like I said, we need to be very meticulous, and we need to be very careful. Let me see. Okay. Okay, so looks like this is it. This is it. 192.168.1.7 and 192.168.253.137. So if you look at it, so this gives us it says A to B. This is the number of packets that was sent, then number of bytes and all of these things, right? We'll take time to look at all of those things later. So it says duration is 0.0073. That's the time it took to send that file. So let's say 0.00773, and then we submit. Right. So with that, we've been able to analyze this packet, and you see they've even given us a new badge for doing that. So yeah, so I mean, with this, we've demonstrated how we can analyze communication, how we can analyze traffic between two systems on a network, and even a system and a server. So Ifemina, I think with that, we've come to the end of the lab.
Thanks a lot for that, Michael. That was absolutely fantastic, I would say. Absolutely fantastic. If you guys had a wonderful time so far, I want you guys to drop a one in the chat. So if you've had a wonderful time so far, please drop a one in the chat, and let's continue with the session today. All right, fantastic, Michael. You did justice to it. Okay, uh, it felt like it felt like I was listening to, you know, I was listening, but I was literally picturing everything you were trying to say, or everything you were saying. I had a wonderful time. Do you understand? So thanks a lot for that, Michael. And Michael is one of our top resource persons with Internet Analytics that will be taking you if you're interested in starting your career as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay. So we talked about this, he talked about the technical part, he also talked about the non-technical part. And those are the things that we're going to explore in the next 30 minutes maximum. Okay. So Michael, thank you very much. You can take a rest from here, and I would take it off from here. Thanks.
Thank
All
you
right.
very much.
Had a wonderful time. Thanks. So we're going to be looking at, getting started as a cybersecurity analyst. Okay. So currently we're in Nigeria, we're in the UK, you're in the US, you're in Canada, Europe. It's the same thing. literally. And that's exactly what Michael was driving at when we were talking about the rules, the regulations, and all that stuff. Once you understand the regulations, they are board, they are all, regulations cut out of the same cloth. Do you understand? And those are the things that we're going to be exploring. Okay. So if you're looking to become a cybersecurity analyst, okay, this year, all right, stop pushing yourself forward. Okay. The best time for you to start is now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Now. Start now. Okay. And those are the things that we're going to be looking at in the next minute. Now, the key question that we're going to be looking at now is what you see over here. How do I become a cybersecurity analyst? How do I get started? I want to be as experienced as Michael. I want to build up my experience. I want to start somewhere. How do I start? That's the most challenging question most people have. How do I start? How do I become as experienced as Michael? Okay. We love the way he was able to to dissect, and demystify some of these concepts to you for you to understand better. How do you start? How do you get started is the key question, isn't it? Now, the first thing you need to look at is the foundation to computing and networking. You need to have a very sound understanding of what computing is all about and what networking is all about. So those are the two first things, key topics that you're going to start off with. Now, as a beginner looking to get started in cybersecurity, these are fundamental things that you need to know. Okay, all right, and those are the things that you're going to start off with. Now, once you learn the fundamentals of what we call computing and networking, then you delve into the other aspect, which is information security principles. All right. Now, once you handle that, you move into offensive and defensive cybersecurity. In the same way, we're also going to treat what we call cyber threat and attack vectors. So these are the things that you need to learn in order for you to get started. You see the progression that we're going through, understanding of computing all the way to networking. Then we enter into information security principles. Then we delve into offensive and defensive cybersecurity. In the same way, we also deal with what we call cyber threats and attack vectors. Okay. Then we talked about, Michael talked, he breezed through it about cryptography, encryption, and all that. Okay, then you move into cryptography, where you talk about encryption, how to encrypt, and so on and so forth. Okay, then we move into network, endpoints, web application, and cloud security. Now, the reason why we're going through everything as much as we can is very simple. So a lot of people have different interests in getting started. Okay. And Michael was able to talk extensively about the different career paths that you can actually take on going through the training program. So we have the people that want to stick to the technical part, we have people that want to stick to the non-technical part. Okay. So the key thing is for you to learn as much as you can and then make a decision even before you complete the training program. So in terms of, talking about security, we're going to cover it across all the key main areas, from network to endpoint to the web security to application security to cloud security. Now, you can bear in mind that, majority of these organizations at the moment are moving to the cloud. All right. Everything that has been happening, everything that's happening, we see a lot of cloud migration services, okay, cloud migration projects, okay, that are going on at the moment. So you see that there is a demand for this, meaning that any organization that is moving to the cloud is susceptible to attacks. And who is this person, who is this professional that will provide an infrastructure or that will be able to test and assess the security of these platforms, the cyber security analysts. So the same thing with network, endpoint, cloud, web, application, and so on. So you learn how to build this, you gain experience, hands-on practical experience doing this on a day-to-day basis. Then after that, we move into the last part, which is incident response and forensic. Okay, incident response and forensic. Oh, sorry, I think my screen just went off. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to get my screen back up. Okay, sorry. I think that should be up now. Sorry, it just went off. All right, so you go through incident response and forensic, and that's when you wrap it up. And once you complete that, you would have gone through the life cycle of what you need to learn in order for you to become a cybersecurity analyst. So at the end of the day, you'll be at the one at the tail end there celebrating, that you're now a cybersecurity analyst. So you see the progression that we started with. So even though you're a beginner, you've not done anything in cybersecurity before, you're not a tech professional, you're not a computer science, you don't have computer science background, you don't have anything. Literally, you see where we're starting from that foundation. All right. So we're starting from that foundation of computing and networking, and then we start to grow you into the field of cybersecurity. So from computing to networking, you go to information security principles, you go into offensive and defensive cybersecurity, talk about cyber threats and attack vectors. We move into cryptography. We move into the core security aspects, network security, application security, web security, cloud security, and so on. Then we end up in the last part, which is incident response and forensic. And once you're done with that, you become a cybersecurity analyst. And you can work in different domains in which you're going to explore in a few seconds. All right. So, these are the key learning areas that we're going to focus on for the curriculum. Okay. So even if you're a beginner, you're just getting started, you're just getting to know about security for the first time, and you're interested, you want to get started, you want to, you want to get into the space of cybersecurity, this is the best way for you to start. All right. Majority of results you find out there are not beginner friendly. Okay, they make assumptions that you have certain background, you have certain experience, you have certain knowledge. All right. So, and that's why you find a lot of people saying that it's difficult for them to it's difficult for people to learn cybersecurity because the kind of resources that you get outside are not beginner friendly. If you've never done computer before, can you start? If you've never done networking before, can you get started? It's a puzzling question for most people. And what we're trying to answer with this curriculum is that even if you just finished university, you've not had any work experience before, you should be able to go through the curriculum and eventually land a job in cybersecurity. Even if you're an experienced professional, you're an HR manager, or you've been working in finance, or you've been working in another domain entirely, and you want to get started in cybersecurity, how can you get started? That's exactly how we've designed this curriculum, starting from the fundamentals all the way to the hands-on practical sessions. And you see what we did today, we did just 1 hour. Okay, we just roughly about 1 hour. Okay, and we're able to go through all that, understand IP address, the network security, web security, and all that. And we're able to do that within 1 hour. Okay, even though you're not able to practice alongside Michael, well, you're able to understand certain concepts, log para in real terms. Now imagine you going through this curriculum for 4 months, extensive learning experience. Okay, now starting from the fundamentals all the way to incident response and forensic, cybersecurity policies and compliance. We'll go through everything in details, using real world experience, using hands-on practical experience, using tools like VMware, wireshark. You get to work with tools like Metasploit, Linux, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, the learning timeline, like I mentioned, is for 4 months. 4 months. 3 months of learning, 3 months of extensive learning, 3 months of continuous learning, okay, and 1 month of virtual immersive internship experience. So you have 1 month of internship experience, okay, 1 month of that. So to become a cybersecurity analyst, it takes a total of 4 months, 3 months of learning, 1 month of virtual internship, okay? Now, we have classes on Saturday and we have classes on Sunday. So if you're interested in this, it's just the weekend. So it's really not going to take your time during the week. So you can still go on with your work as normal, all right? We're not saying you should quit your job, all right? But just saying take a chance in learning a new skill and getting started in this desired career path of yours, okay? So it's the weekend, okay? So and it's just 3 hours out of the entire weekend, okay? So 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday, so 6 hours in total, okay? So 3 hours on Saturday, which is between the time of 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. West African time. And also on Sunday, we have 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. So this is just you dedicating 3 hours every weekend, 6 hours every weekend, 3 hours on Saturday and 3 hours on Sunday. And then 3 months time, you have the ability to actually secure the bag, getting your job within within cybersecurity. So these are the things that you need to understand. Getting started. How do you start? That's like the most challenging part for most professionals. All right. I'm interested, but how do I start? Where do I start from? Don't worry, you can start with us. That's literally what we do. All right. You can actually start with analytics, get started because, all right. And you should have that confidence that you are going to learn it because look at what we've done in the last 1 hour. right? And I can tell you, I can see all the ones that came in when I asked, if you guys had a wonderful time. So that's exactly what you're going to do. Just imagine 3 months of that immersive learning experience from the live classes to the virtual classes, the virtual internship, I mean. Okay? So that's exactly what you need to have at the back of your mind. Now, what career paths can you take on? Can I only work as a cybersecurity analyst once I finish the training program? No, a big no. There are tons of opportunity. Here I have 8, but there are tons of other opportunities that you can actually look at. Okay. Now, the first thing you can actually apply for is a cybersecurity analyst role. All right. Michael currently work as a security engineer. Okay. And those are the things that you need to, like other roles that still exist that are not on the list at the moment. Okay. So we also have SOC analyst, which is security operations center analyst. Okay. We have compliance analysts, we have cyber threat intelligence analysts, we have information security analysts, network security analysts, forensic analysts, incident response analysts. So you think there are quite a number of roles you can actually apply to. And if you're looking for a remote opportunity, you're looking for freelance opportunities, these opportunities exist. Okay? And those are the things that we're going to be looking at in the next few minutes. Now, the growth internship program, like I said, is for 4 weeks. That's a month, okay, of immersive learning experience. I'm going to share with you one of the case studies that we are using for one of the case studies that they're currently working on in that particular session for the guys that started in February. So they're currently doing their internship at the moment, okay? And I'll share with you the case study they are currently working on a real life case study. This is a real life case study, and I'll show you. I'll just share with you for a few seconds. All right. So this is the case study. Okay, it's about TechStart. The name of the business has been changed. Okay, it's a real life case study. The name of the business has been changed, and certain information about the business also has been adjusted. But TechStart Solution is a tech company, and what they do basically is provide cybersecurity. They provide tech solutions to companies across the world. So you see, TechStart Solution acquired a new client, okay, a local law firm that has been experiencing significant network-related issues. So long story short, the law firm network architecture lacks a proper firewall system and network management practices are outdated. With the increased amount of sensitive data being handled, client information, case files, and so on, the lack of robust security measures and an efficient network system is becoming a critical concern. Okay, now this is the business problem. The tech start, like I said, a software development company, a tech company, okay, all right, got a new client, which is a law firm. After assessing the law firm, okay, they found out that the architecture, their security architecture is bad, okay, it's poor. Okay, and obviously with the law firm, security is very important. If they're storing all their information on their database, on their data, on their servers and all that, local servers and all that, how do they guarantee security? How do they guarantee that this data, client data, is safeguarded in the best way possible? All right. So now you see there at the bottom, you see that you have been employed as a cybersecurity analyst. Now, this is after you've completed the training program, 3 months. This is now case studies that you will get to work on. Okay, personally, these are real life experiences that you're going to use to build your own personal experience. Now, you have been employed as a cybersecurity analyst consultant to provide a lasting solution to the business problem. So you've been employed. Now, during the internship, you need to come up with a solution to this business problem. All right. And that's when you now start to talk about the potential business solution. So we'll talk about creating a basic network. Okay. All right. We'll talk about the structure. We'll talk about hardware. Okay. We'll talk about moving to implement implement network protocols. Okay. So DHCP, DNS, ARP. These might sound very vague to you at first, okay? But that's the whole essence of you going through 3 months of immersive learning experience in order for you to handle all these kind of questions, okay? Then the last but not the least is a firewall configuration, okay? So we'll talk about traffic rules and security policies and all that. Well, lastly, the key thing for the end result for this is, as a cybersecurity analyst, you will have to implement your proposed network design in a simulated environment using packet tracer. Okay, so this is you using hands-on practical. This is an hands-on practical project. Okay, that you can use as your own real-life experience in gaining the kind of jobs that you're looking for. So regardless of anywhere you're coming from, okay, any background you're coming from, we are going to teach you in a way that you'll be amazed as to what you can actually do, even in a month into the training program. All right. So those are the things. This is just one of the case studies that you get to work with during the internship. Now, bear in mind that these experiences, these case studies, are not random case studies. These are real life case studies. These are things that have happened, all right, that has been repurposed for learning experience. So it's not you working on some random day with random information out there. Okay, this is literally a life case study, but you will be the one to implement. So if potentially in the future, all right, you start to apply for roles, okay, let me ask you, okay, tell me about the time, you implemented, a network security protocol or whatever the case might be. All right. You can easily draw experiences based off the case study you worked on during the internship. All right. And we'll talk about how you can leverage analytics as a place where you've worked. Okay. So rather than using your current place of work, you can actually gain experience and also leverage the analytics in transition. We'll talk about that in a few seconds. Okay. So the internship experience is, when I say immersive, it's intentional for me to say immersive in the sense that this is now when you start to own your skills. You've learned for 3 months. This is now when you start to own your skills in cybersecurity. Okay. Now, moving on to the next thing, why should you train with analytics? All right. Why should you train with us? I mean, like I mentioned, there are quite a number of people that would offer the training program. Well, like I mentioned, okay, there are certain things that separate us from every other person out there. Number one is the curriculum. Okay, we'll talk about that. But the key thing is our success rate. All right. The first thing I would like to talk about is our success rate. Like I mentioned at the start of the session, with just about over 3 years, okay, doing this, training people and getting them into the tech space, we've done over 2,000 people literally across the world. Okay, over 2,000 people. And I'll share the testimonials with you. I would share them with you. I'm not going to hold any information. Okay, so fantastic testimonials of people that have gone through the training program and now have secured their own job. Okay, now we also have industry standard facilitators and curriculum. Okay, so if you may not handle the session today, you'll be like, oh, if you may not, okay, fine, that's good. But you see, we brought in Michael, one of our more experienced, facilitators, that would also be one of the people that will train you. Okay, and we have all that experienced professional, not just Michael. Okay, we have other people, so we have a pool of experienced people that you can drink from their wealth of experience. Okay, literally drink from their experience. Just the same way we took, we drank out of Michael's wealth of experience today. So we have these experts, okay, that have industry experience, that have deployed, that have implemented, and will be coming to teach you. Now, the curriculum also well thought out, like I mentioned earlier. Well thought out in the sense that even if you've never done this before, you're just getting started. You're just getting interested. Okay. How do you get started? The curriculum is designed for beginners, people that are literally looking to getting started. So once you're interested, okay, we have the facilitators, we have a great curriculum to get you started, and we have a fantastic and phenomenal, track record of people landing their jobs after completing the training program. So we also have blended training to accommodate every learning time. So we have fast learners and we have slow learners. We have people that, once they listen to Michael in class today, some people have a brand. They will download Wireshark and start to use it. Do you understand? While we have other people that would likely want to do this, want to listen a bit more, want to listen like 2-3 times, maybe do like 4 practicals before they get started. So we have people like that. So how do we accommodate for these 2 unique learning styles? Okay, and that's exactly what we have implemented. So we have the live classes in which you would, like I said, Saturday and Sunday, 3 hours on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday. But we also have what we call the watch me do it videos, okay, which are self-paced material for you to watch as many times as possible, for you to rewind, fast forward, for you to try to get yourself accustomed to the tools, the technologies, the terminologies, and so on and so forth. So we have that infused into the curriculum. So it's not just the live classes, you also have, bite-sized, what we call watch me do it. And literally, that's the name of the videos. We call it watch me do it videos for a reason. So it's practical. So as you're watching the person, as you're watching the facilitator do it, you are also replicating the same thing with explanations and all that. Last but not the least is the tailored session to position you to land your dream job. Well, that's exactly what we're going to talk about now. How do we now position you to land your job? So it's in 3 levels, okay? Level 1, we talk about your CV review. So if you've never done anything in cybersecurity, trust me, you cannot have a CV that will get you a job in cybersecurity. So the first thing you need to treat is your CV. You need to have a stellar CV in the sense that people need recruiters and employers when they see your CV, they should be excited to speak to you. They should be excited to say, oh, I want to speak to this person to hear about the person's experience and so on. All right. So we'll help you with your CV, we'll help you revamp your CV. I have experience. I don't have experience. Would help you revamp your CV. All right. LinkedIn optimization, another fantastic add-on you're going to get for going through the training program. So for most people that are looking to get a job, okay, one of the greatest places for you to apply for jobs or to get opportunities is LinkedIn. Even if you apply on a job board, okay, most recruiters will still want to do like a second level of check, and they'll go to your LinkedIn to find it out, to find to find out what you've been doing, what you've been up to. So we'll talk about LinkedIn optimization, would help you optimize your LinkedIn. Now, also in the same vein, when recruiters are looking for potential candidates, what we call headhunting, okay, when they're looking for potential candidates, rather than putting out a flyer to say we're recruiting for a cybersecurity analyst, let's say a recruiter wants to headhunt, clients or people to work on the project. Okay, which I do this personally, even as a professional. Now I'm looking for people to work with me, okay, on a project or or even within the organization. So rather than just putting on adverts, I would reach out to people, what we call, headhunting. So with link optimization, you are going to be ranking higher. It's just like SEO. If today you decide to search for a particular product and you want to buy it from, you want to buy a particular product today, and you search, Google will give you the best recommendation. Okay, that's what we call SEO. So with LinkedIn also, all right, if your LinkedIn profile is not optimized and a potential recruiter is searching for a cybersecurity analyst, your profile will not appear, will not be recommended by the search. So you see those searches when you search for something on LinkedIn, it's based off optimization. So we're going to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile to get you in the eyes of recruiters, employers, and so on. Also, we have Upwork optimization, which is a freelance platform that will get you, anybody that wants to work freelance, we can go there to work freelance. We'll help you optimize on your Upwork platform. Navigating the job market, which is an essential skill set, all right, that you need to have. So you getting started in cybersecurity is not just you learning VMware, Wireshark, Linux, and so on and so forth. It's not just a technical aspect. It's also you landing a job. Now, how do you navigate the job market? How do you ensure you get a job once you complete the training program? That's exactly what we talk about here. So where do you apply for remote jobs? All right. Where can you get remote opportunities working as a cybersecurity analyst? So we'll talk about that. So, and even more, what kind of roles can you apply to? What roles can a cybersecurity analyst apply to? After completing the training program, we talked about the 8 of them, but now extensively, how do you know you can apply for these roles? What is required for you to apply for these roles? Everything will be discussed about how to navigate the job market. Now, job and interview preparation. Now, let me tell you something very interesting. If you have a good CV, you have a good LinkedIn profile, you know how to navigate the job market, you know where to apply for a job, you know what type of job to apply to, and you go ahead to implement these things, you'll get interviews. All right. But now the other side is you've never attended any job interview, any cybersecurity job interview before. You've never done it before. So how do you know how to answer these questions? Okay. How do you know how to prepare for these interviews? That's exactly what we do for you. So we have what we call interview preparation sessions, mock interview sessions, where we prep you for your interview, where we ask you potential questions that will likely happen, that will likely come up, where we, even tell you how to prepare for the interview. So we do all this to ensure that you have a higher chance of you landing the job. Last but not the least is recommendation and reference letter. Now, if you've always been working in finance and you want to delve into cybersecurity, your finance experience, where your organizations you're working with at the moment cannot write you a reference for a role in cybersecurity. They can't. Okay. Okay. So, and that's the situation that most people find themselves. So they've learned a new skill, but they're looking for free internship. So they can use that free internship as a yardstick for them to transition. Okay. Somewhere they can work for free. Okay. There's some people who go as far as even taking a pay cut. But now what we've done is to you can gain experience from analytics, and you can also leverage analytics as your current place of work. So you can use that to say that, oh, you currently work with analytics as a cybersecurity analyst, and these are the things that you've implemented. You would have worked on case studies, you will have worked on different projects, and in which you can learn, you can get that experience, gain that experience, and use it in applying for jobs. So you can use tell potential recruiters that, oh, I work as a cybersecurity analyst, or I work as an SOC analyst, or I work as an infrastructure, and so on and so forth. You can do all that thing, all right? Gain experience from analytics and also leverage us in landing your dream job. Okay? So we'll get you that recommendation letter, and I'll tell you for free. Don't tell any other person here. We write the best recommendation letter. Don't tell anybody, just between all of us on the call. We write the best recommendation letter. And how do we know how to write this recommendation letter? Because we've been doing this for years, over the last close to 4 years now, of doing the same thing. So we've gotten better, like 10x better than any other person you find in the industry. Number 7, the second level on how we would help you secure your job. Mentorship sessions. So we're bringing experts within the field. We're bringing recruiters in the US. We're bringing recruiters in the UK. We're bringing recruiters across the world to come to talk about how to position yourself. Okay, we also bring in experts within cybersecurity domain to come and speak to you. All right, so we bring a lot of mentors into the training program to ensure you're always learning. Okay, so it's not the same set of people you're going to be listening to. You would have mentors that will come in to expose certain tips and tricks on how to navigate the job market, how to prepare for interviews, and so on and so forth. So these are the things that we'll put in place to ensure that you get the most out of the training program. Last but not the least is on the job support. Now you'll find out that how is this training program so robust? Even me just talking about it, I want to start cybersecurity. I honestly want to start because starting from the fundamentals, you've not learned this before. You're starting from scratch, you're a beginner. You can start. The curriculum answers your question. The curriculum will help you with that. Structured learning, live classes, watch me doing videos, practicals, and all that. You finish that practical, you finish the learning experience. Okay, you have an internship. Now, after the internship, even during the learning process, during the learning and internship, you're going to get your CV reviewed. You're going to get your LinkedIn optimized. You're going to learn how to navigate the job market. You'll learn how to interview. You'll get recommendation reference letter. You'll get mentorship. Okay. You will get on the job support. So meaning that if you get a job and you're still confused or what we call imposter syndrome, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. And you still have that fear of you failing. We have on the job support to guide you, to assist you on that job. So the key thing is for you to even get a job. Just start. I don't know why I keep telling most people. Start. All right. The reason why we started this analytics, and that's why I usually start, or we usually start with what do we do? What are we here for? All right. Why analytics? Because those are the things that we suffered when we started our own career. Okay. Getting a job, feeling incompetent, feeling this, feeling that, how to get a job, how to get started. That's literally what we have started. Well, that's what we have done so far. All right. Now, new initiative in 2024. Okay. So we have the body mentorship hub. So the body mentorship hub is very interesting. Okay. So like I said, we've done over 2,000 people that have gotten jobs. Okay. So these guys are coming back. Okay. To say that, you know what? Analytics, I want to help somebody. All right. I want to help other people. I want to mentor people. Okay. All right. I've gotten a job. I went through the curriculum. I was able to get a job. I want to come back and also help people. I want to tell people how they can also achieve the dream I got. I want to get other people to achieve the same thing. So we have our alumni that are coming in to come and hold you and guide you into your desired career. Is that not fantastic? So we have people that have gotten jobs and are coming back to also and hold other people in getting it. So it's more or less like it's a chain effect of, we've done our work and people are coming back to, help other people achieve their desire. So we have a robust network of alumni. Okay. Now we have the enhanced internship experience, like I talked about earlier. The enhanced in the sense that you're working on real life case studies. You're implementing, you're not just designing, you're working, you're implementing, you're presenting, and so on and so forth. And last but not least, we have currently secured some partnerships with firms in the US, in UK, in Canada, all right, and also in some other European countries. And essentially, what is this partnership all about? Basically, building a pipeline of job. Okay, so they have opportunities that they bring up on their platform. We get our people to apply for these roles, and then done, there's a smooth transition from recruiters requesting for candidates, and we recommend the people within our career training program to get these roles. Okay, and essentially that's the whole meat session of it. For remote opportunities, people that are looking to get remote jobs, I think I'll just do like a few seconds review where I'll show you where you can apply for remote jobs. Okay. I'll just show you one. We have a couple of sites in there, but I'll just show you one real quick. So I'm going to go to built-in. It's called built-in. So if you're looking for built-in, you see it here, built-in, national tech and startups. So I'm just going to go to built-in and show you exactly what it is. Okay. So built-in is it's a platform for tech roles, majorly tech roles. Okay. So I'm going to search for a keyword and I'm going to look at cybersecurity. Cybersecurity. So these are people that are looking for, cybersecurity analyst, engineer. You can actually apply for those. Okay. See job matches. Okay. Now, currently, I don't need hybrid. I don't need in office. So I'm going to unselect those ones. These are remote roles in the US, tech remote roles in the US for tech, majorly tech companies. Okay. So I'm going to click on apply. Okay. So you see a lot of roles here. Okay. This was 2 days ago. This was yesterday. This was 2 days ago. This was yesterday. So you see, this is up file. This is senior analyst, information security. This is cybersecurity assessor. You see everything. These are all remote roles. All remote roles. Cybersecurity engineer, cybersecurity assessor, senior security analyst, security specialist, threat detection engineer, cybersecurity engineer, and so on. And you see all the roles are there just within the last week. Okay. All right. These are remote opportunities. Remote opportunities. All right. Now, looking at any one of these roles, okay, you find out that all you need is just, the key requirement, okay? Experience, experience, experience. Everybody talks about relevant experience, And you see, it, majority of the things that we're going to talk to is exactly what we're going to talk about, okay? So you see it here, relevant experience or equivalent training, relevant experience, 2 to 5 years, or formal training. So you see a lot because there are quite a number of opportunities, I would say, for informed cybersecurity analysts looking to get into the space. This is fully remote roles, all right, in the US. Okay, and you can apply. This is just one of the places you can apply. Another fantastic place, just because of time, I'm not going to be able. I wanted to keep it under 2 hours. So LinkedIn is another fantastic place for you to get, remote opportunities. Okay, so I'm just going to come here. I'm going to search for cybersecurity, or let's say cybersecurity. Okay, cybersecurity analyst. Also, rather than you can look at Canada, you can look at any part of the world. All right, let me try the United States. All right. The United States is a bit more flexible for remote roles, and that's why you see a lot of people getting more roles, in the US, okay, for remote opportunities. So I'm just going to come here to select remote. I'm looking for just remote roles, okay, and select that. So these are fully remote roles in the US, okay, fully remote cybersecurity roles in the United States. So you see it here, this is 7 hours ago, junior SOC analyst role. Let's take a look at that. So for people who are looking to get started, salary is between $69,000 to $79,000 US dollars. All right. So this particular one clearly states that a valid work permit is necessary in the US. So this one already tells you that if you don't have a US visa, you can apply for these remote roles. They want you to be resident in the US. Some other roles would not tell you that, okay? Some other roles would not say that. So once they don't, okay, all right, once they don't specify, please, you can go ahead to apply, okay? Once they don't specify, go ahead to apply. So there are quite a number of roles you can apply to: cybersecurity analyst, SOC analyst, and so on. So these are just two sites, okay, that we've explored. There are more. There are more. These are like the common places where people will go to look for remote roles. But guess what? There are other sites that you need to subscribe to get more access to. Do you understand? All right. And this is why we've had so much user access in the training program. Okay. So join our next cohort starting on the 4th of May, 2024. All right. So we have a cohort starting next month. And like I said, don't wait till next month. Start today. Okay. Don't wait till the 4th. Start now. So register today. So we have a discount currently running. So the full amount of the training program is $750. Okay. In pounds, it's £625. In euros, it's 730 euros. In Canadian dollars, it's 1,125 Canadian dollars. And in Naira, it's 900,000 Naira. All right. But now we're running a whopping 33% discount. Whopping 33% discount. This is the best time for you to register. Now, guess what? The discount is not available till the end of the year. Okay. All right. The discount is available for the first 20 persons to register. The discount is only available for the first 20 people to register. All right. So you see that the discount is only available for the first 20 people to register. Okay. So you see here. So the discount of 33%. All right. And this is what you need to pay. All right. So instead of paying the full amount, all right, you can actually secure the discount, the 33% discount. So rather than paying £750, you can pay $500. Rather than you paying £625, you can actually pay £425. If you're in Europe, okay, and you're using euros, instead of paying 730, you can actually pay 475, 33% discount, like I mentioned. So rather than you paying 1,125 Canadian dollars, you can actually pay 750 Canadian dollars. And in Naira, rather than you paying 900,000 Naira, you are paying 600,000 Naira, a whooping 33% discount. This is the only time it has happened. Okay, so if you're looking to getting started, you need to start now. Secure your spot. Now, the good thing about the discount, okay, the good thing about the discount, I'll tell you, is you can actually pay in installments. So you don't need to pay everything at once. You don't need to pay the whole $500 or the 600,000 Naira at once. You don't need to pay everything at once. Okay, you can actually pay in installments. So the first installment is what you need to secure your spot. All you need right now to secure your spot in the class for 4 months is the initial deposit of the first installment. Okay, so rather than you pay 500, you can actually pay 350 to secure your spot. 300 pound or 350 euros, 500 Canadian dollars, or 400,000 there. That's what you need to secure your position. Okay. Now, for second installment, that will come 1 month into the training program. So 1 month into the training program, you can then balance. So making it very convenient, very flexible for you to get started. Okay. You can pay in installment. So paying into 2 installments, first installment to secure, to secure your spots. And bear in mind that this is only available for 20 people, no more than 20 people. All right. So just 20 people. So if you're looking to get it started and you want to secure a discount, secure it right now. Okay. So in order for you to secure a discount, all you need to do is click on the link in the chat. So you'll see my colleagues would have dropped the chats, you will see the mainstack.enroll 10 analytics. So I'm going to show you now. So this is the link. You'll see it here, mainstack.me/enroll 10 analytics. So I'm going to click on that link, okay, and it's going to open up in a new page. It's going to open up in a new page. So this is it. This is a very, very easy registration process, okay, very easy. So once you have made up your mind, okay, which please you need to do that because it's only first 20 people. Last week, the training program that started, people waited to the end of the month to secure their spots, and eventually there was no discount for them, so they had to pay the full amount to secure that discount. Okay, they had to pay the full amount, okay, without instrumental payment to get into the class. So once the class is getting closer and we've hit 20, the number of people that we need to be in the class, we close off registration. Hence the reason why you need to register now. Okay. So the Analytics Enrollment Center, very easy registration. All you need to do is click on the link. It takes you to this platform, okay? If you want to see the program brochure, you want to read more about cybersecurity, fantastic, that's good. You see, the first thing you see, the first button you see there is get access to all program brochure. Okay, so I'm going to click on this and it's going to open up the brochure. So you see it here, the second one, cybersecurity brochure. So I'll just breeze through it so that you can always have access to it. You have access to the link, you have access to the brochure. So the brochure just tells you in-depthly what you will learn in each curriculum, okay, in each topic. All right. So introduction to cybersecurity. What are you going to learn? So everything is detailed out in the foundation of computing and networking. You will learn all those things. Information security principle. We talked about the CIA triad today. AAA, risk management, and so on. Okay, offensive and defensive cybersecurity, all the things that you'll learn under each of them is broken down appropriately. And that's why I told you at the start, that's why it's designed for beginners, people that have no background. How do they get started? You start with that introduction, you move into the foundation of computing and networking. So all that is treated out for you. Okay. Now to make payment, very simple. Okay. So today, if you are, let's say, take for example, you're in Nigeria, okay, you want to pay 400,000 naira to secure your space. So you can either make a transfer to the Naira account. If you're in the UK, you can actually send to the UK account. If you're in US, we have the USD account details. If you're in Canada, we have the Canada account details. And if you're in Europe, we have the Euros account details. So if you want to do a direct transfer, you will see the direct transfer. It's the first thing you see. So if you want to do a direct transfer, Naira account, the Naira account is there. It's a Wema Bank account. The rest of them are all Wise account. Okay. So you can do a direct transfer. And also, if you want to you want to pay via your card, use your card to make payment, which is a lot easier and a lot faster to initiate and complete. So we have cybersecurity. Okay, cybersecurity. The button is there. So if you want to do card/online payment, all you need to do is card full stack data science. Click on that, and it takes you to a web page. Sorry, I think I clicked on the wrong one. Cybersecurity analyst. Okay, all right. So it takes you to the web page where you can complete your payment. So you see it here. The discount price is what you see, $750. So I'm in Canada at the moment. So you see there, Canadian dollars, 750 Canadian dollars, which is matching exactly what you see here, 750 Canadian dollars. Well, that's not all you need to pay. That's not what you need to pay to secure sports. You need to pay 500 Canadian dollars. So you can actually change the price from 750 to 500 Canadian dollars. All right, 500 Canadian dollars. And then click on reserve a seat and go ahead to put in your information, full name, email, so on and so forth, and get started. So that's essentially simple as that. It's as simple as that. So if you want to make payments using your card, click on cybersecurity. It takes you to the page where you make your payment, puts you the right details, and secure your sport. Now, let me tell you how we know those we've gotten to 20 people already. Very simple. So once you see that the price on the course has changed from 750, all right, to the ideal price of 1,125, the system has accumulated 20 registrations already. All right. So you need to secure your position now, okay, while the offer is still available. Okay, so you need to secure your position now. Okay, so and the installment payments, the second installment comes 1 month into the training program. Okay, now in terms of proof, okay, in terms of proof, people that have gotten your jobs, okay, we started running cybersecurity this year, February. Okay, so we are the people that started in February are still literally just going, they just completed their training program last weekend. Okay, and they're going into their internship program. Okay, so we have a lot of people currently in the pipeline. We just started this year. So you see, the success rate has been with other tech programs that we're running so far. All right, we've been doing a fantastic work. Okay, Ely got a job as a CEO of a tech company after completing the data science program. And you know, the good thing about this is it's not just these are not just random people. Okay, these are people that have gone through a curriculum, okay, and are willing to come back to share their experience and how they're able to achieve it. Okay. So you see, this is one of our, you know, data associate. So this is Ini, okay, talking about how I was able to transition into the role of a CEO of a tech company based off in Nigeria. Okay. So, and that's exactly what he shared in this particular testimonial. So the link is there for you to listen to Ini. And I was able to achieve getting the role of a CEO as a tech company. You feel like that is a stretch, no problem. Let me show you about Ifi also. Got a job as a business analyst, okay? Got a job, yes, within the UK. Same thing, Nathaniel got a job in the US, okay? Currently works as a data engineer, okay? And that's the success rate. And that's just a few people, anyways. We still have, this is Ini wrote this full story, like a full on testimonial about how he was grateful to Out Analytics aided him getting the job as a CEO of a tech company. All right. We have Toyin that landed the job as a benefit analyst. Tosin also got a job as a fraud analyst. Ulubumi got a job as a business data analyst. Binya got a job as a business data analyst. Abigail got a job. And you see, all these experiences people getting their jobs are all scattered across different locations. So we have people in the UK, in the US, people in Canada, literally across the world. I mean, Benga currently is based in Poland and was able to secure a role as a business data analyst working in Poland. Abigail is in Canada, got a job as a business analyst within the government in the government of Canada. Yuela also got a job as a data analyst, as a financial analyst. Shadi got a job as a data scientist. We have people getting jobs as data scientists, data engineers, data, and so on and so forth. So we have a ton of people, and these are actual people. These are Nigerians, these are Ghanaians, these are South Africans, these are Africans that are landing this job. Nobody else. Okay. And it started from where? This started from getting started with analytics, learning the rudiments, and then going into the job force and securing the bag, I would say. Okay. And we have a lot of success stories of people getting their jobs within the tech space. All right. So you see, one of the testimonials here, I wish I had started tech analytics earlier. So the earlier you start, the better for you. That's the honest truth. Yeah. The earlier you start, the better for you. So if you're looking to get into cybersecurity and you want to be part of the alumni that will be proud of to showcase and tell them that you've gotten a job, you need to start now. Not tomorrow, not next week. You need to start now. Now. So you see, we have like that foolproof testimonials of people getting jobs literally across the world. So these are usually things I like to see. You see, Ebube got a job as a data scientist. Okay, I should able to say first proper job in the UK after 10 analytics training. You know, you can see here data scientist, information and performance, Ebube is there. You see them getting their job, and they're usually very excited. How do we achieve this? All right. It's literally all the conversation I've had so far today. All right. Abdulrashid works in Nigeria. He's one of the one of the so many other participants that we have that currently works in Nigeria, or for a firm in the US. He works for a company in the US, Child 420. Okay. Victor also works for a firm in the US, works in Nigeria. And what did he do? People operations with Ugo in the US, okay, in Chicago, Illinois. Okay. So Maureen also data science, and so many other roles, people working across different organizations across the world. So we're very keen on helping more Africans get into the tech space. So if you want to be part of this people, you want to be that professional that will secure their own job within the tech space, please register now. The discount is only available for the first 20 people. Before I call it a day, if you have any question, like I mentioned, somebody currently saying it seems like everyone that got a job went through data analytics or business analysis roles. Are there other success stories? Like I mentioned, cybersecurity for the last 3 years will focus majorly on the data ecosystem. Okay, it was just this year we started cybersecurity. So we started in February, and I mentioned earlier that those guys in February are literally just going. They just completed a training program and just heading into their internship. Okay, so we don't have people that have gone through entirely, the cybersecurity training program. Okay, but I can beat my chest that these guys are doing fantastically. You can see the case study I shared earlier. That's exactly what they're working on at the moment. And these are the guys that would you'll see them in the next couple of months, them getting their jobs and so on. So those are the things that we're going to be looking at. Okay, so there are jobs. Okay, the key thing is, do you have the skill to take out the jobs? That's the foundational question. Did you have the skills to be able to get this job? Those are the things that we need to look at. So, anyways, if you're looking to get it started, the 4th of May is when we start the training program. If you want to listen to people that have gotten their job, all you need to do is go to 10 Analytics, just search for 10 Analytics on YouTube. Okay, scroll down, go to playlist. Okay, go to playlist, and you'll see testimonials. Okay, and you see we have a ton of testimonials of Nigerians, Africans getting a job in different countries, from Kenya to Tanzania to South Africa to guys in the US, UK, Canada, and so on and so forth. Okay, so if you're looking to get started, the proof is there. Okay, the curriculum is there. Okay, we went through 1 hour of practical, discussion session with Michael today, and I'm sure you guys had a wonderful time. So imagine 3 months of immersive learning experience. That's exactly what you get. Okay, and secure your discount today, not tomorrow. Okay, secure your discount today. Okay, so any question before we call it a day? Any question? Any question? I think I've answered kind of this question. Let me see if there are any other questions in the chat. Okay, please, what type of laptop can I get? Please, I'm interested, but I need a laptop first. Okay, no massive, no, you don't need to get something too massive, okay, for a start. So you could just get anything that has 8 gig RAM, okay, 8 gig, 8 gig RAM, okay. What else is there? Maybe anything around 512 gig SSD. All right, maybe 2.4 gigahertz. Okay. Okay, all right, and I think that's pretty much fine. Okay, you don't need anything too powerful or anything like that. All right. Okay. So, but just ensure you're using SSD 8 gig RAM and above, 2.4 gigahertz and above. That's pretty much okay. Okay. Despite I'm a security analyst, I totally enjoyed Michael. So everybody enjoyed Michael's session today. Can someone with zero knowledge of computer science succeed in cybersecurity? 100%. Hence the reason why we have that beginner-friendly curriculum, starting from the foundation of cybersecurity, foundation of computing, foundation of what's the other one? Networking. Okay, so those are the things that you need to understand. It's the foundation. We start from that foundation and start to build off the foundation itself. So fantastic. I think I've seen all the questions here. I've answered all the questions I can answer. Okay, all right. So, anyways, thank you very much, guys. I totally had a wonderful time. I had a great time today. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the main program. So the program starts on the 4th of May. If you need to register, if you want to share with your friends, your family, please share with them. Get started today, not tomorrow, not next week, like I said. Okay, get started today. These opportunities are waiting for you. The key thing is just for you to start. Start now. Okay, don't wait 3 months, 5 months, and keep kicking the ball down the court. Okay, start now. Okay, immerse yourself in that learning experience, and we'll get you what you need to get. All right, which is your dream job. Thank you very much, guys. My name is Ifemena, and I'll be looking forward to having you guys in the main training program. All right, thank you very much, and cheers, everyone. Bye for now, guys.